Yes, of course, because Poland knows that it benefits from the unity of Europe. When Europe was divided, we were the victims of the division of Europe. So united Europe is good for us.
And yet you know that the EU feels you're no longer playing by its rules, that the independence of the judiciary is being eroded now, that the press and the media are no longer free.
But we are in the dialogue with all those assumptions, I would say, rather. This is, it's not based on the facts as we believe, but based on the kind of the assumptions that we want to clarify, and if there's needed, we are ready to make some changes in Polish internal law regarding like the judiciary. So they are on the way. So we are in the dialogue with the Commission. I think it should end up before we start the discussion on the future of Europe and the future financial perspective for Europe, because this is what is real.
When you talk about clarification, the European Commission has said your reforms mean the judiciary is now under political control of your ruling party. They can't tolerate that.
It was not the aim of the reform to make it politicized. It was just to make it more efficient. You know, the majority of the Polish society surely agrees that the Polish judiciary is not working well.
But to bring it under political control, that sends out a real warning now that you don't value its independence.
You're presenting one of the opinions. I'm presenting the other one. I'm saying this is not the way this reform should be regarded, and that was not the aim of the reform. It was just to make it efficient.
But you know it's not me presenting this argument.
Of course,
it's the EU. And it is MEPs voting in favour of invoking Article 7, which would actually take away Poland's voting rights. I mean, that's how serious this has become now.
I do hope that this vote would never happen, and that's why we are working with the Commission. So this procedure would end up before it gets to the Council for voting. This is, I think, the sentiment among the capitals of Europe also. The states of Europe really did not want this vote to happen.
Poland is the biggest beneficiary in terms of EU funding, and at the moment the EU is threatening to cut that now. Either you follow their rules or you get your funding cut. So which will it be?
Poland is, as you said, the biggest beneficiary of the EU funds, and has and we have no complaints.
So you don't worry that you're going to get your funding cut?
The only thing we are worried about is this clause, this conditionality, to be too generous. We want it to be specified, and we want it to be really addressed to the financial management and the anti-corruption legal systems in the beneficent member states, because of course this is also in our interest.
You know, the concern of the EU is that Poland and Hungary are moving towards a creeping authoritarianism now, which is out of step with what the EU believes in. What would you say to our viewers about that?
Keep calm, and nothing like this happens in Poland. In Poland, the voters decided and gave the mandate and legitimacy for the current government to rule over the country on the specific political platform that was introduced during the campaign. And this political platform is now realized, so it is exactly what should happen in the democracy.
And if the EU doesn't like what it sees in Poland, what is your message to the EU then?
You should like what you have, because Poland is the important member state of the European Union. Poland is devoted European state with the very pro-European society. 80% of the Poles support the European Union. So this is actually the reservoir of energy for Europe. So we are the part of the family, and of course you can this way or another exchange opinions about the members of your family. But we are the family. You have to love each other in the family.
But what is the point of being part of this club whose values of freedoms and liberties you don't entirely share?
We believe in the four freedoms of Europe, also the free movement of people, goods, services, and money. So we believe this should be kept. Everybody is welcome to Poland to come, look, and see that this is the country of the happy people living as they want to live, and making the political choices as they want to make political choices.
What will you do to work with Britain now in its Brexit arrangements?
We want to keep the ties with the Britain. Of course, this needs negotiations. This needs practical arrangements. The devil lies in details always, so well, there's a long way ahead of us, but Britain can believe, or should believe in Poland as their ally. Important thing is that the Britain is still part of the West. It still has got its assets in Europe. Europe has its assets in Britain, especially of course, in the sphere of defense and security.
And you've brought me finally on that note to relations with Russia now. There is a lot of fear amongst EU member states of Russia and its actions. Where does Poland stand?
We are the first, as a border country, we are the first exposed to the offensive capacities being built by Russia, and we have to respond to that by balancing these offensive capacities by our defensive capacities, so we can feel secure.
Pan Kaczynski, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.